Hey, it's Country Bumpkin reporter Pam, and I decided that this was a perfect time of year to start a Campfire Stories. And so this is episode 1. Not exactly camping, so we're just makeshifting in my backyard. And I thought I'd start by telling you how I got interested in the outdoors and camping. And we did not tent camp. My dad actually built a shell onto the back of his truck. I'll try to put a picture of it if I can find one in the video. And that's how I first started camping. So I attribute my love for the outdoors and camping to my dad. And we went on one huge trip, and when I say he built a shell on the back of his pickup truck, that's pretty much what it was. It had he built a frame for a bed for him and my mom, and we used an ice chest, we used a Coleman stove, and we had a pot for a potty. And my brother slept on the floor, and I actually slept in the cab of the truck. Now, I know people today would not do that. I guess I was about 11 years old when we took this trip. I think I actually had a birthday during the trip. And we traveled from Central Texas all the way up to Yellowstone in just that pickup truck camper. And it was a lot of fun. In fact, to this day, whenever I smell a Coleman stove cooking ranch style beans and hot dogs, that's the memory of it evokes, is being on that trip. And it was a lot of fun. And we also used to go to my grandpa's, and we would camp out down by one of the tanks. And I can remember waking up early in the morning and setting up in the cab of the truck, and the cows would be wandering around, kind of looking at the truck and getting a drink in the tank. And but on our trip to Colorado, I can remember one night we pulled into a camp spot in Colorado, and it was, a few people were there, not very many. And so we went to bed that night, and the next morning I woke up really early and needed to go to the restroom. So I got up, and the campground was packed. So I, eased out of the cab of the truck, went up to the restroom. There were women everywhere, dressing, showering. And of course, when you go to bed and the campground looks one way, and you get up and the campground looks another way, and you come out of a different door than you went in, I was a little bit turned around and lost. So it took me a few minutes to find my way back to our truck. And anyway, that was kind of interesting. And then we went up on the Grand Teton Mountains and got stuck in a snowstorm. And of course, if you've ever been up there, you know the roads are one way up, one way down. And it was so bad that we could barely see my uncle's taillights in front of us. They were camping with us too. And so anyway, we got stuck up there for a couple of hours waiting for the snow to let up and for them to get the road cleared so everybody could finish going through and getting down. And my dad had quit smoking, and when we got down on the other side, he hit my uncle up for a cigarette and went back to smoking. I mean, that's how nerve-wracking it was. And but we had a lot of fun when we got on the other side. We were playing in the snow. We were sinking about waist deep in the snow, and you know, that was quite exciting for us Texas people, since we hardly ever see snow. And so anyway, that's my campsite story for tonight. That's how I got started loving the outdoors and camping. My dad took us fishing. Later years, we went hunting, and I did find out I much prefer fishing over hunting. But I had a lot of fun. I like to sit in a deer blind, and I actually like to take pictures. So my dad always said, well, if you get it on camera, that's about as good as shooting it. So I enjoyed doing that more than I actually enjoyed, you know, the killing part. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of Campfire Stories, and I hope you'll subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I will have some more interesting stories, a lot more interesting than that one. So come back next week for Country Bumpkin Reporters Campfire Stories. Until then, bye-bye. Have a good week.